subscribe. Darling Radio. Like and subscribe.
Important to understand the entire context of what led us to this position, because again, Metcalf and Hendricks is a microcosm of a much larger problem. Earlier, we were talking about tribalism when you were mentioning Nick Fuentes' tweet. Here's the thing. Black people could be as tribal as they want to be. You have people like Tariq Nasheed, Dr. Umar Johnson running around about black power and marry black women and keep it in the hood and all this other stuff. But if white people assemble and say, you know what, white power, we need to keep our nation white, they're immediately ostracized and labeled as supremacists, and they get banned off every single platform. I find that interesting. And matter of fact, you went ahead
and you
the same thing. No, actually.
All right, what's going on, man? We in the building. You know what time it is. Round of applause to you. It is that late night happy-in time with Tariq. And I am Tariq, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here. I'm in the building. You in the building. And we're going to make a duo with Damn Do. All right? A lot of stuff we're going to cover on this broadcast. And y'all know what I got to do first. First, I need you guys to give me a retweet. I need everybody to retweet and let folks know that we are live right now. This is live right now. Then let me give some shout outs to some of the regulars real quick. Let's give a shout out to some of the good folks that are constantly in the rooms. I see a lot of new faces here. That's a good thing. All right, let me see. We got Miguel in the building. We got Jones in the building. Big Saint in the building. Boone. 215, Rain Love. We got Cha Cha, TY for NT, The Earth Angel, Brandy 7, Lulu Israelite, 666, D-Day, Miss Willa. I haven't seen Miss Willa in a minute. Miss Court, I haven't seen you in a minute, dear. We have London in the building, Sunny, Black Lady. We have Brother Kareem, Ice Cold. Let me see, Brother Dashawn, Sweets, Ani Asaru, Miss Skyline. We have Tweety Monroe in the building. Tweety Montgomery, I'm sorry. We got Say JG, Ty Powell, Highland. We got the lovely Trinity in the building. We got Anika in the building. We have Brother Jabari. We have Marak, Welsing, The Black Receipt, Sir Mike, Brother Arthur, Nas, Wayne Dresky, Red Joker, FBA Furball, and the legendary Tethanator in the building. Everybody give them a round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen. All right, so while everybody's coming on in the room, and we almost got 500 people here in the first 30 seconds, so that means it's going to be a great broadcast. First thing I got to tackle, did y'all see Musty Myron Gaines? He was on a panel on Piers Morgan's television show and, doing his old Sambo routine. It was him, Mark Lamont Hill, and a couple of more people just kind of discussing racism and the white supremacist woman who got a GoFundMe or the crowdfunding for calling a special needs black child the N-word. So you got these folks up there trying to justify it. And you had some people kind of giving counterpoints. Mark Lamont Hill, he did a pretty good job. Shout out to Mark Lamont Hill. He did a pretty good job countering some of the stuff. But Musty Myron Gaines, he was on there caping for white mommy, white daddy. And he was up there talking about America's a white nation. I'm kind of paraphrasing. He said something about America being a white nation. He said something to that effect. A lot of that stuff kind of went over people's heads. Hold on, wait, before I go there about that, let me get Gabriel in here. Gabriel is the Democrat shield. Hold on. But he's our Democrat shield. He gives us a lot of insights on what's going on. What's up, Gabriel?
How you doing, man?
I'm good. Where you been hiding, Gabriel?
I'm finishing school. I graduate tomorrow.
Oh man, congratulations to you!
So,
Congratulations. On that. Now, was that you dancing in that video with Jasmine Crockett and those folks?
oh my God, you guys got to stop accusing me of that, bro.
Was that
I'm not,
you?
bro. Any sassy dancing that's going on, that's not me, bro.
So, all right. Were you doing any dancing, sassy or
No,
non-sassy?
no, 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 no. You will not see me. I will at least not post it. At least
So
you will
that
not
what?
see me.
Okay, that dude look like you.
Nah, 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 man. How you been, though, Tariq?
I've been good. Just making sure you ain't out here bussy popping. You
No,
just
no,
want
bro. Come on,
come on,
bro.
man. You can't do that to the Desaline, then risk his life for you
Man,
to be out here
man,
bussy popping, brother. So what's going on,
man.
man? What's happening with you?
No, I'm just seeing like all like on the social side, we're just seeing the whole Shiloh Hendrix, which is despicable, and Carmelo Anthony's like that whole situation, the GoFundmes. I don't think they're equivalent at all, but like just to see a white lady get $500,000 for calling a black kid the N word is just I don't know. First, I want to get your reaction. Like, what this like? Is this like a rise of white supremacy? Because we know it's always been there,
Right,
but
right,
just like people just being just so open and like unapologetic about it. It's
right. And let
like
me
it's something new to me.
right, and let me unpack all that. I'm gonna have you call back a little later because yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I do want to unpack. I just wanted to make sure. I just wanted to see if that was you bussy popping in that video. But well, I'll get you back on later. But I'm gonna tie all of this into this whole Myron Gaines nonsense. So again, like I said, Myron Gaines was on Pierce Morgan, and they were on there talking that BS. And again, Myron said something about America being a white nation, something, and it was like, what did he say? I want to paraphrase, but I just want to be accurate. He was defending white people as usual, and he was saying there's nothing wrong with them wanting to have a white nation or something like that. It was something to that effect. Now, the thing about it, America has never been a white nation. I just wanted to clear that up. That's one thing that stood out to me first. We got to always clear that up because a lot of the white supremacists will hop on talking about was a white nation. America's never, ever, ever been a white nation. Never, never, never. When they tried to come over here and start these little all white colonies, they all failed. Let's just be clear. And I always bring that up. I'm gonna keep bringing it up. They never, ever, ever established an all white anything. They couldn't. They didn't have the wherewithal to do it. We're gonna have to be historically accurate. This economy was built by enslaved foundational Black Americans, not white supremacists alone. The wealth and global rise came directly from our labor and our ingenuity. All right. Foundational Black Americans, we have always been the cornerstone of the U.S. economy. The U.S. was never ethnically homogenous. I'm talking from the 1600s onward. The nation this is always populated by a mix of red natives, black aboriginals, enslaved black people, imported African people, free black people. All right? And the white supremacists from Europe. Some indentured servants, some planters, some pirates. So yeah, it was always racially and ethnically diverse early on to a certain degree, but we've always been the main ingredients here. We've always had that. And look, the Constitution, which a lot of the white supremacists like to thump, but they don't believe in it, it was never racially exclusive by language. See, even though the founders, most of them were white supremacists, they talked about white supremacy in other works, but the Constitution, it never defined America as a white nation. It never did. Huh? And the thing is, those naturalization laws, they were created to force whiteness into law. You see, that's why those early immigration acts, like the 1790 Naturalization Act, that restricted citizenship to free white persons. So that shows whiteness had to be legally imposed. Yeah, it wasn't the assumed nation's default. So it was like an artificial policy that was used to control. It didn't reflect America's identity. You had to bring white people over here and enforce more white folks over here because it wasn't white enough. You see, and white identity in America has always been fluid. You know, it's always been politically constructed. Like when the Irish came over here, they were not considered white at first. Irish were not considered white, but they became some of the most staunch white supremacists once they got let into the white door. Italians were not considered white. There were some Jews who were not considered white to certain degrees. Some of the Greeks were not considered white. So that whole idea of white America, that expanded, only when they needed to serve some kind of political or economic goal, which proves that whiteness itself is a manufactured and unstable construct. Yeah? And also the repeated need to reinforce whiteness, that proves it was never dominant by default. With the Jim Crow laws and redlining and sundown towns and the one drop rule and all of these things, they had to force white dominance. It was never, ever, ever a natural thing at all. And it's still being forced. That's why this immigration thing, they let folks over here and then haze them and then allow them into whiteness. So just wanted to clear that part of the game up. But Myron was on there, and as usual, Myron had my damn name in his mouth. He's always mentioning me. This dude stays whining about me. So he's on international television whining about me. He's like, yeah, people like Tariq Nasheed and Umar and those people, they're tribal. They're tribal. They believe in black this and black marriage and keep it in the hood. He says something about keeping it in the hood. I'm like, what the f you talking about? You bad faith arguing buffoon. I ain't never said nothing about keep it in the hood. Just on TV lying his ass off. So yeah, he had to put my name. He keeps my name in his mouth. And here's the thing. He does that, number one, because it's clout chasing for the algorithms, because he knows mentioning me, somebody who's high profile and respected, that boosts engagement for him. He knows that using my name, that's going to attract attention. And that triggers discussions that helps his own content go viral. So that little musty tether needs me. I'm like his little adopted, his dad. He's like a little musty Webster to me. Yeah. And he's sitting up here talking about I'm tribal, while he makes excuses for the white supremacists doing every and anything. So by saying that I'm tribal, he's trying to create a false equivalency, framing black defense or cultural delineation as just as harmful as white supremacy. It ain't even nowhere near the same context. And he knows that, but he's a flunky because he's just appealing to the white supremacists. He's trying to get that injera butter biscuit. And he knows they all do this whole thing when they criticize high profile, very pro black figures such as myself and a handful of others. That's him trying to send a signal of allegiance to the white supremacists so he can try to position himself as being safe and obedient. And also it's a lot of jealousy and envy with that. I've organically, right, there's no T in organic. I'm sounding like Tyler Perry with that. But organically, I've organically built a powerful, influential base without needing to cater to white platforms. See, that's very rare with the size audience that I can garner, and I don't have to suck up to no damn body. I just be myself. Yeah, and stand on business and have pride in my lineage and have pride and confidence in myself. And I did it without having to clout chase and leech off other people. See, Myron Gaines, his whole thing is he's only known for his proximity to whiteness and spewing their white supremacist talking points. You see, and he people like him, they resent the fact that I can speak unapologetically for my lineage, for my people, and still remain successful. That's the thing. I'm not a poor righteous teacher. I have relative success. I should be a damn billionaire, but I'm not sitting in a basement, you know, selling incense and no shit like that. Yeah, because that's what people are used to. When people are very pro-black, it's usually somebody walking around in some Timberlands and a backpack selling Egyptian musk oil. And they don't mind that. They don't mind just as long as you broke talking about white folks and white supremacy. Yeah, that's like, yeah, you're right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, if I'm standing on a corner yelling with a Bible in my hand, they don't really have a problem with that. But when you have certain levels of success and you're speaking like this and you have certain levels of influence and you're speaking like this, that's a problem because people are really, really listening. And see, the people like Myron Gaines, they resent the fact that they come from these failed ass lineages. He can't even discuss anything about his lineage and his culture because it's seeped in failure. Mine isn't, and I can speak very highly and proudly of it. They resent stuff like that. That's why they're always trying to smear foundational Black American lineage. They're always running around here talking about some damn black crime in Chicago. You're not at liberty to talk about no crime over here. It is not as bad as your failed homeland, where y'all over there beating bitches in the head with hyena legs. It ain't that bad. You're not going to come over here and discuss any of that with us while your homeland is janky, toe down, and raggedy. I don't want to hear it. You're not at liberty to do that because it's a bad faith argument anyway. They're not, listen, when the musty Myron Gaines run over here talking about crime in Chicago, these musty ain't saying that to fix it. When Candace Owens is talking about, they ain't saying it to fix it. They're trying to get butter biscuits from the dominant society. They could care less. When we are successful, they hate even harder. That's why they hate on me. I'm talking about the Musty Myrons and those people. They always whining about me. I'm not creating crime in Chicago, but they stay anything black and successful, or anything black, period, foundational Black American lineage based, they're going to hate on it no matter what. It's pointless to even get into those arguments with those folks. You have to shift the argument back on why they're doing what they're doing. You have to bring truth to power, and they're doing it because they have an obsession with approval from white gatekeepers. And they know mentioning me negatively in front of white people like Piers Morgan and some of the other viewers, that's virtue signaling to the white elites. That's him saying, hey, look, I'm very dark skinned, but I'm not like those radical Black Americans. You can trust me. He always trying to tokenize himself as like being the reasonable Black. Yeah. And there is no reasonable Black in the system of white supremacy. And truth be told, mentioning me, Myron has no relevancy anywhere else. Myron Gaines, he's aware his own relevance is fading. He has to attach himself to people who are more talked about and respected. And since I'm always trending, especially in pro-black circles, he knows that mentioning my name, that ensures he stays in the conversation, even as a villain. As a villain and a troll, that works for them. That's why people always mentioning me with these bad faith arguments. That's just so they can stay in the algorithm, so they can get clicks and views. And then they can monetize the clicks and views. I inadvertently feed a lot of tethers, niggas, busters, sambos. I feed a lot of these people inadvertently. You see. But the game is getting real funny style out here because look, the Myron Gaines and people like that, all of these bootlicks who suck up to the right wing white supremacists, things are getting different for them. Things are getting real hot for them right now because the white supremacists are kind of turning their backs on their black flunkies and sellouts. What's that Dom Lecrae dude? He was one of these dudes who was sucking up to the right wingers, kind of denigrating black society and making a whole show out of it. They done turned on him because he spoke out against this white woman denigrating the black child. So I think he's from our lineage, even though he's a Sambo. But again, If you're from the lineage, there's only so far your Sanborn will go. If the ancestors will tap your ass on the shoulder and say, hey, man, you're going too far. Just like with Diamond and Silk. Diamond and Silk, I give them credit, even though they were mammies. They did not denigrate George Floyd. They didn't go that far. Just like Candace Owens is a Caribbean tether. She identifies as a Caribbean, so she goes all in. But Diamond and Silk, they reeled it back a little bit. So this Dom Lecrae, he's trying to reel it back a little bit. And boy, they turned on him, calling him all types of N-words and stuff. See, yeah, white supremacists, they're getting bold right now. They're getting very, very bold right now, ladies and gentlemen. You see? And why are they getting so bold? See, right now they're getting bold with political and media validation. See, a lot of the white supremacists, they feel like they're protected by the dog whistle politics. They know that the media is biased in their favor, and they're not going to really get any consequences or negative feedback from the media. They understand that they have institutional backing. So that kind of empowers them to be more overt. Yeah. Which backfires on them because a lot of this shit is backfiring on the white supremacists because this will push a lot of people to have some real solidarity with the foundational Black American community. And also, you know, social media, that's turned into a radicalization feedback loop. So you got all these echo chambers out here that kind of reward extremism with likes and views. So a lot of the white supremacists, they escalate their rhetoric for clout. And here's the thing, it backfires on them because, see, the more unfiltered and brazen they become, there's more evidence for us to say, hey, look, we're going to have to get compensation for this open racism because y'all like to say racism is over. And now we got all of these bold white supremacists making their move that's making our claims stronger. That makes our justice claim much stronger. So you can't play the denial of white supremacy game when a bunch of white supremacists are giving hundreds of thousands of dollars to a white woman who racially terrorized a special needs Black 5-year-old. So now you're showing how degenerate you are. You see? And the white supremacists, they're making these little sloppy moves because, see, they're getting desperate from their declining cultural control. See, Black influence on the grassroots, that's growing even more. And the white supremacists, they're starting to feel cornered and irrelevant. So they're doing a lot of reckless outbursts right now. And see, their little public meltdown, see, that exposes how insecure they are, which delegitimizes their ideology in front of the world. Yeah. And another thing they thought they were going to do was weaponize law enforcement um, to draw more national attention. See, they use the law enforcement agencies and the court as their personal little security guards, planning false narratives. The police, they are selective in enforcing justice, and that's backfiring now because now the justice system and the political system, the legal system, law enforcement system, they are delegitimizing themselves by allowing so much anti-Black racism to go on and no protection for the Black community. So people are looking outside of the system in order to attain justice. See, that's the thing. When people lose faith in a system, when a system is just so openly corrupt and degenerate, people completely lose faith in it. So then they start looking for alternative ways to get justice. So this is why the white supremacists are kind of playing their hand, overplaying their hand. And see, they also forgot that the universe has balance, man. The universe corrects itself. And on a metaphysical level, white supremacy, they've overextended their karma credit line, and their little sloppy overreaching that they're doing now. They're just making all types of little sloppy moves, which is good because it's being met with retributive energy. See, Neely Fuller told us this. Hey, man, it's good for the white supremacists to be bold because that's the only thing that wakes us the hell up. So now we ain't got no damn excuse. You see, we can't sit up here and play the denial game with them. They're being very bold with it. And when they're bold, we kind of get our shit together. We know what it is. We understand the assignment. I ain't got no problem with it. Eh? Because the law of nature pops off. People are like, okay, if they're going to be bold with it, we're going to be bold with the retribution. That's why, have y'all seen some of the videos that's been on social media? I posted a video today. This white woman, I don't know where this was, but she spit on some sisters, and the sister immediately, within seconds, stomped a mud hole in her ass. Well, there's a lot of videos like that. I saw another video. This white man was up in a store. It was a Walmart greet of this brother. I don't know what he was. I don't know if the brother was a Walmart greet. I don't know what he was. But this white man was up there arguing with him and then tried to spit on him. This brother slapped this dude up and took his belt off and started whooping him with the belt. Boy, the energy is different. There's a retributive energy right now. It's a whole different vibe. Now, what does this mean for the bootlicks? What does this mean for the Myron Gaines and these people who thought that they were going to get the golden butter biscuit that would last forever? No, it ain't working like that. The golden butter biscuit ain't gonna last forever because look, they're turning on the black flunkies. Because white supremacists is so bold right now, they're like looking at the black flunkies like, what do I need you for? This is why the Myron Gaines and people like that are buck dancing and samboing even harder because they know that these white supremacists don't really need them like that. Remember, Myron tried to go, remember like some months ago, he went up in one of them white supremacist spaces and they called him all types of saying N words and they were calling him N words left and right, made him get up out the room. They're like, we don't care about you using our talking points. You ain't one of us. They embarrass this dude every chance they get. Because listen, the Myron Gaines, the Don McCraes, and all of these people, y'all were never really accepted. Y'all were not the good Negroes. They just use you. You're tools to them. The white supremacists, they never saw the black flunkies as equals. You're a shield. You're like a dog to them. You're like, hey, you're supposed to guard me from criticism. That's their mindset. And once you outlive your usefulness, they discard your ass. Because now they're engaging in wide open racism. When you have these people putting up GoFundMe's and making money after racially terrorizing a black child and they're being bold and white with it, they don't need you as a shield no more. They feel less of a need to hide behind the black faces because they've always felt a certain way about having to hide behind the Sambo class and give y'all money. Myron Gaines. That's why they've deplatformed you and everything. They don't like the fact that they would have to give you guys money to do the dirty work for them because they know you're low key running a game on them. They know you don't believe half the shit that you're saying. And they know deep down some of you have resentment for them buck breaking your ass in your homeland. They know. They ain't buying your, oh, the white man is so great. They ain't buying all that. They know there's some other shit going on there. You see? And I know you're listening, Myron. So yeah, they don't need no black mouthpiece to say what they're ready to say loud and proud now. That's why that's what they mean by supreme. They don't feel supreme when they have to hide how they really feel. They've been wanting to say how they really felt for a while now. So right now they feel emboldened, which is good because they're tripping themselves up. And understand there's no good Negro in the system of white supremacy. The white supremacists, they don't distinguish between good blacks and bad blacks. You know, it's all fair game. And also there's a rise in black grassroots consciousness, and that makes the tokens obsolete because one thing what makes tokens effective for the white supremacists is that they have to kind of have some type of cachet with the black grassroots. They got to have some type of camaraderie, even on a small level, in order to even pretend to be spokespersons. The Sambo tether class, you have been completely excommunicated from anything remotely concerned with our lineage. We're doing paperwork checks right at the gate. And the white supremacists, they see that. They see that you can't come in and infiltrate us at all, because the minute you tethers show up, we're like, and you've been already recognized as a known tether. Oh, your name is Mud. You're done. You can't come among us and do nothing. And the white supremacists is like, well, damn it, you kind of useless now, aren't you, Negro? Yeah. And also, listen, the white supremacists look at y'all, the Myron gangs, and all y'all Sambos who sit up here and regurgitate their talking points. Truth be told, they view you guys as weak and disposable. See, white supremacists, they despise weakness and obedience in others. You better understand what these people you're sucking up to, you better understand how they really think. See, they understand that same docility that made these flunkies useful, that makes you easier to mock, humiliate, and scapegoat when needed. So you become their little personal punching bag. That's why they turn on y'all fools the way they do. Let's really unpack that about respect. Understand what respect is about. And one thing about the white supremacists, they respect strength. They respect strength. You understand? And look, they view obedient black folks and they're the flunkies. They view them as weak and disposable. They hate them. Deep down, there's a hatred for them. They'll sit there and smile in your face and pretend, and they'll even give you money. They're gonna take it back, but they give you money. You know, see, strength is respected, even if it's adversarial. Weakness, even especially performative obedience, is quietly despised. You understand? When y'all sitting up there standing with the white people, y'all black people, what about black on black crime? All them crime in Chicago? Yeah, buddy. And secretly they're like, this goofy Sambo. This is what white people are thinking about you. See, obedience, um, that signals inferiority. When a black person goes out of their way to agree with anti-black talking points, deny racism, and attack other black people on behalf of the white supremacists, they look at you as proving your own subjugation. And the white supremacists, they interpret that as confirmation of their racial hierarchy. And like, okay, so I got me a submissive dog right here. Yeah, any lack of self-respect is contemptible. See, even the white supremacists, they recognize when somebody has no backbone. And when a black Sambo or flunky parrots their little racist talking points in exchange for that little short-term pat on the head, the white supremacists, they'll sit there and thumbs up and, oh yeah, you're great. But deep down, they look at you as pathetic. And what they're thinking is, okay, if you're willing to sell out your own people or people who look like you, why in the world should I trust you or even respect you? Yeah. See, the thing about white supremacists and just people in general, the law of human nature, people respect the challenge of resistance. That's why, listen, the white supremacists, they'll tune in, they'll follow and even obsess over black people who challenge their ideologies, like me. Look at all the people in here. A lot of these people are white, and a lot of them are white supremacists. A lot of white supremacists tune in, but a lot of people in the dominant society, they tune in. There's a lot. Hell, yesterday, you saw the white people calling up. Yeah, they tune in heavy. White people are always listening in and tuning in. Now, why is that? Why do you think that is? That they're tuning in. Look at all the people in here now. We got thousands of people in here right now live. Many of them are white, listening right now. Why are they listening? Why are they listening to me? Why? Because resistance, strength, refusal to bow down, because I don't bow down. I stand on all types of business with my head up, and I've been doing it for over 25 years publicly. I've been out here for a minute. I've been out here for a long time. Some of y'all have been. I've raised some of you. You understand? I be forgetting how long I've been in the game. Then I see somebody like, yeah, I was rocking with you when I was 5. I'm like, oh shit. I mean, grown ass people. I'm like, I've been out here for a minute, man. And you don't have that kind of respect that long being on some bullshit. You only do that by standing on business. And the very act of standing tall is seen as proof of worth, even if the white supremacists disagree. You understand? Yeah, they might hate what I say, but let me tell you something. They respect that I say it without fear. Yeah, they might hate my guts, but they respect the fuck out of me though. You understand? They show me all types of respect. I ain't talking about hiding and saying little goofy shit, trolling. I don't know, when people see me, yeah, they tip their hat and nod their head in respect. You see? Meanwhile, the flunkies like Myron, who parrot all of their dumbass talking points, yeah, they look at you with mock and amusement. There's no respect there. Yeah, the flunkies are a joke. Until you're a liability. See, once those tokens, when there's no use for you, they're like you're damaged goods. Yeah. But strength equals power. Weakness equals tool. And with the white supremacists, power is everything. So even if they despise black empowerment, they recognize that the people who command power through charisma, influence, strong ideologies, that they must be taken seriously. That's why confident and unapologetic pro-black people like myself, we trigger rage and fascination. Yeah, people just have to tune in, and they gotta respect it because I stand on this shit. That's why the tether class, y'all don't get no respect. The tether's running around whining and crying all day. You FBA niggas hit us. No respect. You don't get no respect. People mock you all the time. All that whining and crying. You see? So some real deep shit going on out here. Like Bushmeat Barrister right here. This is a perfect example of a whining tether with bad faith arguments. I'm just using him as an example. Bushmeat, get your ass up in here. What's up, Bushmeat Barrister from Nigeria? Bushmeat? Bushmeat Barrister, are you here or are you delivering an Uber Eats order right now? Bushmeat? All right, I was going to use Bushmeat as an example, but now his phone is janky. All right, Bushmeat Barrister's phone is janky right now. All right, let's get Malone in the building. Malone in the building. Let's start getting folks up in here. Malone, what's up, Malone? Mr. Malone, are you in here, sir?
Tariq, how are you, man?
I'm good, Malone. How are you?
Nah, I'm good. I just wanted to take a moment to just appreciate. I think it's the brother that we just found out. He took out a police officer after killing his son.
Right.
Yeah. I just wanted to commend that brother because I remember a while ago we were in a space together. I mentioned the fact that, with Black Americans, and I say this respectfully, with Black Americans, you need to deal with your cops eye for an eye, because clearly they still hold that supremacist, racist ideology. So I think it's commendable, and I'm hoping that a lot of Black Americans will have that spirit of being able to take justice into their own hands, considering that they get killed every day for the most nonsensical things. So now we appreciate that.
There you go. All right, Malone. All right, man. Thank you so much, Mr. Malone. I appreciate you for calling up. Eric, what's up, Eric?
Hey, what's going on, Flex? How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Good to hear from you. Yeah. So, first of all, first and foremost, that Paris Morgan thing, he brought Musty Myron, your boy, brought your name up because they're gonna try to get you on Piers Morgan so y'all can have a FBA tether debate. You know that, right?
Right, and they're gonna, yeah, they know. No, they're gonna have to give me my bread so we can have a real get down. I don't want to.
No,
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not arguing that.
Right,
No,
right. I
but
know
I'm just
that.
saying that's why he brought your name up
Right.
because he wants that viral moment to help his career and what he got going on. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Exactly.
But yes, but anywho, so but it's just getting a little ridiculous. And like you said, you brought it up. You took the words out of my mouth. As soon as the space started, I requested to speak. But yeah, no, he this is the thing about Myron. They use all these trigger. They try to get a reaction. Like you saw, like you said, Mark Lamont Hill did do a great job on
Yeah.
Piers Morgan today. But no, they say all this like this. They try to and Paris Morgan told the one white girl to say nigga or say the N word or whatever, this, that, and the third. And that's the thing. You would never say that about a Jewish, like say a Jewish slur. Paris
Right.
Morgan would never say that. He would
Yeah, they
never
were
say
being
that.
slick. Yeah, they kept having them say the N word with the hard ER on purpose. And
Right,
Mark Lamont Hill kind of checked them on that. He was like, "Hey, y'all keep saying that. That's very offensive."
right.
So yeah, so they were trying to be slick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, no, they definitely were, but they definitely were. But no, it's that's what I'm saying. You don't go on that show unless you get your bread first. You need to have that own thing by yourself with Myron. You already cooked them. That's what I'm saying.
yeah,
That's water
right,
under the bridge. But he's trying to use that viral moment to get his name out more with this FBA circle. Because, like you said, um you got the biggest spaces on X
yeah.
consistently.
Oh yeah,
So no, I'm saying keep doing your thing. I just want to give you high praise, brother. Peace.
much respect. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah. And yeah, the rate has went up, by the way, since Myron. They keep mentioning me. That's what I'm telling you every time. Listen, when they mention me and somebody comes in here talking about, hey, won't you debate Myron? The rate is gonna go up. So now the rate is 60,000. It was 50,000 last week, so now it's 60,000. Since he mentioned me on Piers Morgan, the rate is going up. So we're gonna have a debate. It's minimum of $60,000. That's a minimum, and it's gonna keep going up every time somebody mentions it. Trinity, what's up, dear?
Hey, love.
How are you, Trinity?
Definitely more good than bad. You know me. You know what I'm saying?
What's happening with you?
Everything is everything, but it's just disheartening, these non FBAs and these, hate ass tethers. It's so irritating.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course they're not getting the best of us. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong.
Hmm.
But damn, you caught me off
Okay,
guard.
okay,
Five things
okay. Get
gonna
your
bring me.
thoughts together, Trinity. Goddamn, sister, you doing all those emojis to get up and don't have shit to say. Get your shit together, sweetie, or go to bed. Put your bonnet on and go to bed.
Slide on that rude work. Slide on that rude work. Slide on that rude work. Slide on that